My name is Paige. I'm 28 years old. I met my husband Thomas, who is the same age as me, at work. Right now, we work in different departments, but we still work in the same company. Today is our second wedding anniversary, so we are celebrating together. Usually, I leave for work an hour earlier, and I get home an hour earlier, so I am going to make a feast before my husband gets home. The cooking is complete. All that's left is to wait for Thomas to come back from work. But, he's late. He's way too late. Even though I was waiting and waiting for my husband to come home, he wasn't coming back. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that he's forgotten about today. Actually, my husband could be a little bit airheaded and forgetful. But this morning, I had told him to come back early because today was our wedding anniversary. And during my break, and before I went home, I had also sent him excited messages to remind him. Surely not. That's what I thought. But even though I called him, he didn't answer. And then I waited another hour. And finally, my husband came home.
I'm home!
You're late. What were you doing until now? Even when I called you, you didn't pick up. Even though I had decided not to get angry, I was irritated by my husband, who came home in such a good mood with musical notes all around him, and I ended up yelling at him. But even still, Thomas was still in his good mood.
I told you that I was going to go and see David, didn't I?
No, you didn't. David is my husband's friend and somebody that I also know well. They go to dinner together from time to time. But why today of all days?
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't tell you? But also, what's for dinner today? Looks like it's a super big feast. If this was going to be dinner, I shouldn't have eaten before I came home. If it was going to be a feast, you should have said something to me.
I did tell you. Not only once, not only 3 times, I said it 5 times to you.
What? You didn't tell me.
I said it yesterday and this morning, and I've sent you multiple messages, and I even left you a message to your voicemail. When my husband checked his phone, his eyes opened wide and he had a shocked look on his face. Is this response a joke? Did he seriously forget?
Oh, that's right. I got a message from David, and my plans with you flew out the window.
What the heck is that? I never imagined that he would be this forgetful.
That reminds me. David got a new girlfriend. I went and met her today, but...
What? You're going to continue that conversation? You're not going to apologize at all about ruining our wedding anniversary? Well, let's see here. He's trying to change the topic.
And that girlfriend was actually this girl named Michelle, who was my classmate from high school. And I was super shocked when I saw her. Like, when did they start dating? When did they get reunited, you know?
No, he's not trying to brush it off and change the topic. He's also forgotten that he's completely ruined our plans for our wedding anniversary. Seeing him happy about his friend's happiness made me feel like a small human being for being so angry. There were a lot of times that I would get irritated by Thomas's nonchalant attitude, but sometimes it was also endearing. Oh, come on, Thomas. But as long as David is happy, then that's good.
Well, about that...
Hmm?
Well, about Michelle, apparently, she used to like me back when we were in high school.
What?
She ended up telling me when David stepped away from the table, and then I ended up getting her phone number as a secret from David too.
Huh? What? What is this guy? Has he forgotten that I am actually his wife? What do you mean exchange phone numbers? Are you trying to have an affair with David's girlfriend? Even though I thought my anger had gone away, it ended up coming back, and multiple times stronger.
Obviously, that's not the case. But I just wanted to prove to you that I'm not lost goods anymore. Isn't it nice to have such a popular husband?
No, it's not nice at all. Obviously, I wouldn't be happy about my husband exchanging phone numbers with a woman I don't know. Plus, that's rude to David.
But it was Michelle who said we should engage phone numbers, so...
Stop talking about Michelle!
What? I can't even say her name?
That's not the problem here. If you end up messaging that person secretly, I'm also going to tell David and we're getting a divorce.
What? Alright, fine.
You might think that I should just let them message each other, but even though that was back in high school, I couldn't help but to be worried about him messaging somebody that used to have feelings for him. It seemed like my husband also understood, or so I thought, but this guy ended up going beyond my expectations. The next day, after we finished eating dinner at home, as I started cleaning up, next to me, my husband started touching his phone. Thomas, can you at least clean up the dishes that you used yourself?
Wait a minute. I'm just gonna respond to Michelle's message.
What? What did he just say? Didn't he just say Michelle? Who are you responding to? I thought I misheard him, so I decided to double check.
Michelle, did you already forget that I talked to you yesterday about David's girlfriend?
I didn't mishear him. No, Thomas, have you forgotten that I told you that if you message her that we're getting a divorce? This time, I'm not going to let him get away with saying he forgot.
I remember you said that I messaged her secretly. That's why I'm letting you know openly that I'm messaging her.
That's not the problem here. Don't just cut out the parts that are convenient for you. Whether it's secretly or openly, it's obviously not okay. What are you thinking?
What? But it's just messaging. What's the big deal? You shouldn't get mad over something this small.
Something small? If you are messaging her secretly without telling David, then it's not something that small.
It's not like I'm trying to become anything with Michelle or do anything with her anyway, so it's fine. Well, even though that might not be her intention.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean? Thomas was grinning as he showed me his cell phone screen.
Look, my friend's girlfriend says that she likes me.
Huh? On the screen, there are lots of hearts and messages like, "I've always liked you, Thomas. Even now, messaging you makes me nervous. I'm constantly thinking about you, Thomas." And there were multiple messages of evidence of her feelings. What the heck is this? This is completely out.
It's hard to be such a popular guy, but I'm not planning on having an affair or anything like that, so I'm safe.
Obviously, you're not safe. I wanted to take his phone and throw it into a lake. As I was thinking that, Thomas's phone screen changed, and he was receiving a phone call, and that phone call was from Michelle.
Whoa, what is this? Does she want to hear my voice right now?
You're not going to answer that, are you?
Hello? Sorry, I was caught by my woman, and I couldn't reply to your message. No, it's totally fine.
It's not fine. Thomas started walking off towards the shower with his phone in his hand, so I'm just gonna wait until this fun conversation was over. Obviously not. I quietly went behind him to the shower room, and I began recording my husband's conversation as he was trying to whisper with this woman who is up to no good. And because it was in the bathroom, well, of course, the voices echoed. He may have thought he was whispering, but I could hear the entire conversation. I don't care what happens to an idiot like this anymore. After I heard their conversation, I contacted a certain person and I sent them the voice recording. 1 week later, even after that, my husband and Michelle were exchanging messages constantly, right in front of my eyes. Maybe because I wasn't saying anything, it seems like he had completely relaxed about it, but he was too naive. Every day, he was speaking at home to me in such a good mood that he was probably at work in such a good mood too. Because we were in different departments, I don't get to see him normally while he's working, but maybe today I'll go and check on my husband is doing for the first time in a while. It seems that my husband had just come back from a business meeting outside, but when he got home, he was taken to the meeting room by the department manager. Of course, I'm going to go along so I don't get caught. And I began peeking in.
Sir, is it just me, or do you have a scary look on your face?
I wonder why that is.
You, Jonathan. I'm disappointed in you.
I agree, extremely.
You're fired.
What? But why?
Can you say right here what you've been doing up until now?
Well, I was going out and doing some sales work for a new contract.
And what company is that?
What? All kinds...
What do you mean, all kinds?
I forgot.
There it is. He's so good at saying he forgot. I didn't think that was what he was using at work too, though.
You forgot? Listen up. This isn't school. It's not a preschool either.
I'm sorry.
But, well, if you forgot, then I guess there's nothing I can do.
Oh my, how kind.
If you've forgotten, then why don't I remind you?
What?
The manager took out a cell phone, and he was showing my husband something. Although I already had a pretty good idea what that was. But then, I could see that my husband's face was getting more and more pale by the second.
Now do you remember?
Well, you see...
You've got some nerve slacking on your work and having an affair.
It wasn't my intention!
What the department manager was showing him was clear evidence that my husband was meeting up with a woman secretly during working hours. And I'm sure that woman was Michelle. Actually, when my husband was whispering on the phone in the bath. When I go out for business meetings, I'm usually slacking so I can meet you. I overheard him say that. Not only that, but because he had clearly stated the date and the time that they were going to secretly meet, I decided to inform the HR department and the department manager. But there was an employee who was slacking on work and having an affair.
Over this last week, in the afternoon, it seems that every day you were slacking on your work and secretly meeting this woman.
Why do you know about that, sir? Wait a minute. Did Michelle tell on me?
I don't know what your mistress's name is, but you know, you've got some nerve having an affair on company time. Well, you were in the running to be part of the company restructure next year, so I'm sure the CEO will be relieved with this.
Restructure? But why me? It's only recently that you found out I was looking, right? If he knew that I've been slacking for years, why didn't you come and talk to me about it in the first place?
What? You've been slacking on your work for years?
What?
I completely thought this was something that had only happened over the last few weeks, but I didn't think that it was over the last few years.
Oh, no, well,
The reason why your sales record was the lowest in the entire department wasn't because of your problems with your memory. It's because you were slacking on your work. Because you were Paige's husband, and you were the CEO's nephew's friend, we cut you a lot of slack, but you've crossed the line.
No way. Wait a minute, sir. I don't know who the CEO's nephew is.
Are you being serious when you say that?
Even the CEO had his hand on his forehead. Because I felt sorry for him, why don't I lend helping him? Wait a minute. Did you forget that you were able to work at this company thanks to David?
Paige!
When I showed up, my husband looked shocked, but the department manager seemed relieved. And then, as if he was passing the baton on to me, without saying a word, he high-fived me. You can leave the rest to me. I gave the department manager a look. When you failed at getting a job and were about to be unemployed, David begged the CEO to give you a job at this company. Did you forget?
What? I don't remember that happening.
Seems like you forgot.
You forgot, you say? Even though you were crying to me so much, telling me that you were never going to forget this favor for the rest of your life? Ah! David, why are you here?
And Thomas's friend David also appeared. Because I told him that you were secretly meeting up with David's girlfriend, and that you were trying to repay the favor with insult, and to be careful.
Huh? Why would you do such a thing? But no, more importantly, how did you contact David? Well then, David, he must have been having an affair with Paige!
So stupid.
Hey, don't tell me that you also forgot about Paul. Paul? Who's that?
Are you serious? You've forgotten about your wife's older brother? No, this is a severe illness.
What? Paul is my friend. What? Paige's big brother? And you? You're friends? Listen, the four of us, including Paul, have gone out to eat together and have even gone out camping together. You forgot about that too?
Yup, looks like he's forgotten. But seems like he also forgot that David's uncle was the CEO of the company. While you're working, you were having an affair with your savior's girlfriend and then boldly doing it in front of your wife. It's practically the same thing as begging to be fired.
So just as you wish, you're fired. F-I-R-E-D!
After fighting this idiot alone, the department manager was exhausted.
No way. And plus, David, you don't need to get mad about this. It's not like you were married or anything. Even if we weren't married, to be secretly contacting your friend's girlfriend, that alone is unacceptable. Not only that, but you were married, and you went and had an affair. It would be more crazy not to be angry about that. And plus, getting fired wasn't just about the affair. Not only were you slacking, but you were endlessly at the bottom of the sales reports every year. Did you already forget about that too? Oh, sorry. Of course you've forgotten. Because you forget about everything. Oh. But I'm glad this is what happened. My uncle was also happy that we would be able to fire you. And Paul and I don't have to keep up with a guy who always forgets about our plans and doesn't show up, more than anything. I can part ways with a guy that's so quick to have an affair. I should be grateful to you, Paige.
Yeah, we're getting a divorce.
What?
Well, I told you that if you were messaging her secretly, we would get a divorce, right? And not only that, but you're gonna be unemployed and riddled in debt, right? Would be more crazy not to divorce you.
Debt? But I'm not in any debt.
Not right now, you're not. But it's a standard that you pay the full settlement fee for an affair at once. You have zero savings, right? And of course, because we're getting a divorce because of what you've done, there's no separation of assets. And so, you have no choice but to go into debt to pay it.
No way. But I don't want to get a divorce. It was just a small mistake.
You had an affair with your friend's girlfriend, and you betrayed both your wife and your friend. What do you mean it was a small mistake? What? Did you think that saying that it was a small mistake will get you out of anything? How scary. But also, first of all, what do you mean a mistake? Do you know what the meaning of a mistake is? A mistake is something that happens when it's out of your control. However, you were contacting Michelle constantly, and you chose a time and place to secretly meet and have an affair. Don't you call that a plan, not a mistake?
Well, that's...
Oh, that's right. You forgot that you had made the plan to begin with. Knowing you forgot that you had made plans to secretly meet, and you convinced yourself that you ran into her by coincidence and it wasn't a plan. You just ran into her in the heat of the moment. You had an affair. Right. Of course. That's what you call a mistake. Well, whether it was a mistake or a plan, I have no intention of forgiving you. And also, somebody who has an affair as a mistake instead of a plan is even worse. Because without thinking about anything, you're hurting your friend and your wife.
That's true.
Although anybody who cheats while having a plan is also trash anyway. I guess it's like comparing an acorn with an acorn.
I'm sorry!
My husband was cornered, and finally, he started crying.
Yeah, that's right. When I got you this job, I remember you coming crying to me with that much noise. Well, it seems like you've completely forgotten about that time as well.
I'm sure he's going to forget about this too.
I'm not going to forget. I promise I'm going to apologize and regret this. So please, spare me from getting fired and from the divorce.
Oh, wow. It's amazing that you remember that you were fired.
I completely thought that you were going to forget and that you were going to come to work tomorrow as usual. Obviously, I wouldn't forget.
Just in case, you should probably write it on a big piece of paper and tape it to the front door. You got fired and got a divorce, and you need to pay a full settlement fee to make sure you don't forget about that. Easy.
Settlement fee? I forgot about that. This is useless.
My ex-husband was fired from the company, and also I divorced him. Just as declared, he had to go into debt to pay the settlement fee. Of course, I had Michelle pay the settlement fee as well. Now Thomas was single, but he also had no feelings of dating Michelle seriously. The two of them were unemployed and riddled in debt, and they ended up breaking up. But since Thomas was so forgetful, it seemed like he forgot that he needed to pay rent and pay his bills, and now he's going deeper into debt. Well, since he doesn't have any money, even if he did remember, he wouldn't be able to pay it. I moved, and I am enjoying my life. To this day, I go out to eat with my brother Paul and David.
Hey, Paige, you're not thinking about getting married again or anything like that, are you?
I don't know if I can think about that yet. What about you, David?
Yeah, I think I'm fine not thinking about marriage for a while.
Same. Well then, after all that, let's cheers. Well then, cheers to a new beginning for both of us. Ishishi. It's not easy to forget about such a bad experience, but when I'm spending time with people that I can trust, I'm able to forget. Someday, I hope I am able to meet a partner that I love, and that this experience becomes something I can laugh about. Who knows what will happen? I'm Paige, 35-year-old full-time housewife. Last year, I got married to my husband Jonathan, who's 3 years older than me. I met Jonathan when I was still working full-time. Ever since we worked on a project together, we hit it off. From there, we started dating, and that brings us to today. Jonathan works at a pretty big major company, so after we got married, I quit my job and I became a full-time housewife. When we got married, Jonathan purchased a new house for us. To be honest, it was really sudden, so I have to admit, I was pretty shocked. And at this house, we lived together with Jonathan's parents, and that was how our newlywed lives started together. My relationship with my in-laws is great. Paige, the tea is ready. Let's drink it together. Yes. Every morning, I have tea time with my in-laws. This has become my daily routine.
Paige, have you heard about that new pudding shop that opened up?
What? Pudding shop?
Yeah, it opened up right by the train station.
Apparently it's a shop that specializes in pudding. What? I didn't know about it. Oh, well then, I'll go and buy some for you later. Really? You're always working so hard with the chores in the house. This is your treat. Yay! And in this way, I'm able to live my life happily with them. However, even though my in-laws are great... Coming!
What's up? Oh, you were drinking tea? Karen, we want to drink tea too, don't we?
Yeah. Sir, ma'am, and also Paige. Nice to see you as usual. That's right. The seed of my troubles were this couple, my brother-in-law Kevin and his wife Karen. These two, they come over to our house every day. Over the last 6 months, every single day. Every day! They both work in the hospitality industry, so the time that they come over is inconsistent, but every single day, they come over together. Wait, Paige, you seem to have a troubled look on your face. What? That's not true at all. I was doing my best to put on a happy face, but it's a given that I would struggle to do that. One of these days, I need to tell them firmly that it's poor manners for them to be coming over every day. Oh, that reminds me. Here, let's have this all together. As Karen said that and handed something over, that was... Oh, it's pudding! I went and bought this just for you, Paige. Ah, thank you!
Oh, this is it! The pudding by the train station I was talking about!
What? Really? This is it? You know, there are so many different types. I was shocked.
There were about 20 different types in total, weren't they?
20 different types? That's pudding heaven! But you know, getting every single type was a little much, so that's why we went ahead and bought 10 different types of... Well, today is just the best day! I wasn't able to say it again. This way, even though I am thinking that someday, I definitely have to tell them I don't want them to come over every day, these two were both good at being loving and thoughtful, so I still wasn't able to say anything. I mean, it's fine that they come over, but when it becomes every single day, that's why tonight I was thinking about talking to my husband about this again. That night, up until now, I had tried to talk to Jonathan a number of times about Kevin and his wife coming over, but... Hey, Jonathan, listen, this is about Kevin and his wife, but...
Yeah? What about them?
They're really great in-laws to have, but I was thinking it's a little bit hard for them to be coming over every day.
No, but, how do I say this? Anyway, just try to get along with them.
Huh?
I'm sure Kevin and Karen just want to become closer to you too, Paige.
Huh? And in this way, Jonathan is always nonchalant about it and tries to brush it off. He only responds simply like this, and I was really troubled by it. And so then, I built up the courage and I decided to talk to my in-laws about it. The next day...
Paige, is it time to have our regular tea time as usual today?
It was our usual tea time. Today, the wife next door gave us some homemade cookies, so why don't we have that along with our tea? This was the same scene as usual, but I was a little bit nervous, because today I was thinking about properly talking to the two of them about Kevin and his wife. When I was getting married, I remember my mom told me, Paige, you're a very smart and fast thinker. That's something that I'm proud of. But sometimes, how fast your brain moves can become something difficult for your partner to accept. Is that what it's like? Yeah, that's what it's like. And so, if you want your partner's parents to like you, you're going to need to hold some things in for yourself. What? Hold it in? Yeah, only a little bit. But if you think you can't hold it in any longer, then you should try and talk to them about it. She has said the same thing to me a number of times, so I was trying to hold it in, but when I held it in for over 6 months, that should be enough, right? It's not like I'm complaining to my father-in-law or mother-in-law. Sir, ma'am? What's the matter, Paige?
If there's something that you want to talk about, you don't need to hesitate. You can talk to us.
You're so kind. My father-in-law, mother-in-law. This may come across as rude, and I don't really know how to talk about this, but... What? This is about Kevin, his wife, Karen. What about Kevin? The last 6 months, they've been coming over to this house every single day, right? Oh yeah, that's true. And about that, well, because Kevin and Karen are both really great people, and I fully understand that, but when they're coming here every single day, it feels a little bit heavy. I don't know how to say it. But then, my father-in-law and mother-in-law started laughing. Oh, come on. I was worried what you were going to say. What? But it's a given that they should be coming over here, isn't it, honey?
That's right, Paige. You haven't eaten any pudding yet today, so maybe your brain has hardened a little bit?
Huh? What? Huh? But why? Coming! Just as I started saying that, that was when Kevin and Karen came over again, and that conversation ended up getting brushed off. A few months had passed since then, and as the day went on, Kevin and Karen weren't just coming over here, it was almost like they were living here. They would eat breakfast, and then go to work, and then come home in the evening or night, and then eat dinner, and at night, they would sleep in the empty room, not only preparing for their food, but their cleaning and their laundry. My mother-in-law and I were doing all of it, and this was too much. I couldn't understand. Of course, during that time, I tried talking to Jonathan about it, but as usual, he was brushing it off. And of course, I tried talking to my in-laws about it, but they would always say to me, "Isn't that normal?" And "They're family, so what's the big deal?" And the conversation would flatline. Well, no, it was more like a one-way street for me. And so finally, I decided to face them head on. That's right. I decided to say it clearly to the two of them themselves. I'm going to tell Kevin and Karen straight to their faces.
Oh man, lunch was delicious again today. Paige, your pasta is the best. This is why you're so amazing.
Oh, now that's... I know, right? This is why you're so amazing, Paige. I admire you. Paige, your pasta is more delicious than most of the restaurants in this area. Thank you very much. It's hard for me to say this. It's really hard for me to say. No, but I need to make it clear right here. Kevin, Karen, there's something I need to talk to you about.
What is it? Why are you becoming so stiff?
I'm going to build up the courage and say it. I understand that you like your family house, but why are you intruding here every day?
Huh?
Of course, not only preparing the food, but the cleaning and the laundry. My mother-in-law and I are doing it all by ourselves. What? To be honest, when it's every single day like this, it's troublesome for me. I said it. I finally said it. But then, when I said that, the two of them had a confused look on their faces, and so did my mother-in-law. But then... Hey, Paige, what are you saying all of a sudden? I really want to get along with the two of you, but I don't understand the meaning of you coming over to this house every day, even though we're not living together. But then, with the confused look still on his face, Kevin opened up his mouth, but what came out next was pretty shocking to me.
Paige, it seems like you might have some kind of misunderstanding.
What is it?
You're asking why we come here every single day, aren't you?
Yes, that's exactly it.
No, but that's because this is our house.
Huh? What is this guy saying?
What I'm saying is, this house is our house, so it's a given that we should be coming here every day.
But this house is the house that Jonathan purchased because we were getting married.
Huh?
Oh dear, my father-in-law just spat out tea from his mouth. Hey, what are you saying?
Paige, wait a minute. Could it be that that's what my brother told you about this house?
Yes, that's right.
Unbelievable!
My father-in-law, who had just spat out his tea, seemed furious. Wait, why? Why is this the turn of events? I'm the only one that doesn't understand.
Listen, Paige, there's no mistake that this house is my house, and it's a given, but I'm paying the loan on it.
What? What do you mean? Because Jonathan never said anything about that.
I think this might mean my brother lied to you.
But why? Hey, could it be that Paige doesn't actually know about that situation? I overheard Karen quietly try to whisper that to Kevin. What are you talking about? What situation that I don't know about?
Is it okay if I tell you? Have you heard about my brother and his situation with work?
It seems like another thing I don't know about is about to come out. Does his work have something to do with this? Jonathan works at a major company. What kind of secret does he have? But then, with her head in her hands, my mother-in-law started talking. Paige, could it be that you don't know that Jonathan had quit his job? Huh? It seems like she didn't know. What do you mean?
I think it was right before he got married to you. My brother, he quit his job.
What? Jonathan told us that you had already accepted that he was quitting his job. That's what he told us. What? Well then, where is he going every single day?
Who knows? We completely thought that you knew about it. And we thought that you knew about this house, too.
No way. But that means that I can't continue living here. You don't need to worry about that. There were some times that, to be honest, I got irritated that you seemed to misunderstand that this house was your house, but that irritation, after this conversation, has completely disappeared. Karen, she's so kind.
That's all right. You don't need to worry about it.
Kevin is also so kind. Oh my goodness, that lying son. What on earth is he thinking?
I can't believe that he would lie to his wife and to his parents.
I'm so sorry, Paige. My father-in-law and mother-in-law are also so kind. And yet, that bastard! When I was listening to these people, the barometer of my anger started to run. This is too awful. And at that moment, a certain question crossed my mind. This is a very simple question, but what is it? Our living expenses here. Actually, ever since we got married and I quit my job, what I was doing about the living expenses was that any time I needed anything, I would receive it from my mother-in-law, because Jonathan had told me,
From my salary, I'm going to be giving my mom the living expenses. So whenever you need money for groceries or anything like that, you can go and ask my mom for it.
That's what he told me. And so I did as I was told, and every single time I was receiving money from my mother-in-law. And I didn't know anything, and yet I was receiving money. That's way too embarrassing. And then she must have guessed that at that moment that's what I had realized. With a forced laugh, my mother-in-law said, The living expenses for the two of you, actually, we had been providing them. What? Does that mean that I was receiving money from you and from Kevin and Karen?
Yeah, that's right. Because we didn't know anything either. So, well, we may have thought it was a little trouble sometimes.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Because we were both being lied to, and we didn't know.
Are you serious? This is unbelievable. 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 So to all of you, I was the worst daughter-in-law, wasn't I? No, of course not. Not at all. You were doing everything around the house, and your cooking is also delicious. But I'm a grown adult, and I wasn't paying anything for the living expenses, and yet I was sitting with you and drinking tea, and I said complaints like what I said earlier. I was truly so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do.
No, but there's nothing you can do about that, Paige.
I truly am sorry about everything. But even still, that bastard! What has he done? I was shaking with anger, and it seems like everybody else felt the same way. It seems like we should cut off all ties with him now.
Yeah, to continue fooling his family? That guy's no longer family. I know, right? But also, he's pretending to go to work. What the hell's he doing?
Well, there's no way he's up to any good now. Probably. I know, right? What should we do? I decided to think a little bit, and then I came up with a very good idea. Everybody, for a little bit longer, can we all continue interacting with Jonathan the same as we are now? What? That's fine, but...
What? Then what are you planning on doing?
When the time comes, you'll understand. I hope you're looking forward to it. Well then, from now on, I'm going to make moves directly. First, I asked my mother-in-law to take care of all the chores around the house, and I began by observing Jonathan's actions every day. But then, my goodness, it all came flowing in. 2 weeks later. Today, as usual, my in-laws and my brother-in-law and his wife were all at the house. And that's right, today was the day to put my plan into action. We were all sitting at home, acting like nothing was wrong, and waited for Jonathan to come home.
I'm home.
Welcome home, Jonathan. Must have been a long day at work.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Jonathan plopped down on the couch like he was so tired, so I decided to go right in with it. What are you exhausted from?
Huh? What? Work.
Work? What kind of work did you do today? Hey, what kind of work?
Work is, well, all kinds of things. All kinds.
All kinds? You mean the casino? And also the escort lounges? And also, you're going to the horse races too, aren't you?
Hey, what?
So you think that I don't know anything, do you? I already know that you quit your job, so...
I know that too. Jonathan, apparently you told Paige that this house was your house that you bought, huh? What? No,
You told me you bought this house by yourself, but it's actually Kevin's house, isn't it? You giant liar!
You also lied that you were giving your mother money for the living expenses. And yet, us and Kevin are taking care of everything for you with your money.
Hey, because...
So, every day, you're pretending to go to work, but you're going to the casino, gambling at the horse races, and then on the days that you win at the slots, you go to the escort lounge. And that money, where is that coming from? You would tell me that there was something Paige wanted to buy and ask me to lend you some money, and you used that money that you tricked me out of, didn't you?
You said the same thing to me, that you didn't have enough money to buy Paige a gift. Oh, you also told me that Paige was spending too much on living expenses, and so you asked me to lend you some. And I did.
Wow, you're the worst, that you would trick your family like that. Seriously? You used me in order to trick your family for money? You should be ashamed. What on earth are you planning on doing after this?
Well, that's... I was planning on hitting the jackpot.
You're an idiot! Oh my goodness. At this point, there was no medicine to fix somebody like this. Paige, you should just kick somebody out like this.
What? Wait.
That's right. You don't need to hesitate for us.
No, wait, come on, no way! Because what am I supposed to do then? I swear I'll change from now on, so please forgive me!
Even though Jonathan had done something that was worthy of being disowned by his parents, he was still trying to beg. Even though he still hasn't said a single word of apology, I couldn't forgive him anymore. This guy's rude attitude and his lack of apology, no matter how you think of it, he was off the path of being a decent human being. There was no fixing him. I glared right at Jonathan and said, "Listen, as long as you don't think that what you're doing is embarrassing, you're not going to be able to change yourself either. First of all, we need to deeply apologize to your mother, your father, to Kevin and his wife, and immediately after that, we need to get out of this house. Do you understand?"
Understand? Well, then first thing tomorrow, we can go look for a new place together.
Are you kidding me?
What? Hey, wait!
Why would I be looking for a new place together with you?
What do you mean, why? We're married!
Huh? My goodness, I was so over it. Did this man just now try to say that we're married? Does he seriously think that I can continue being married to him? I'm getting a divorce from you.
What? No way!
From the very beginning, it was all lies, you know. There's no way that I can believe anything you say from now on, and I'm going to receive a full settlement fee, so you better be ready. That's right. You should definitely leave a man like that.
That's right. That's what you should do. It's pathetic that he thinks he's a man.
And hurry up and get out of my house!
But I would love for Paige to stay. In that case, can we just adopt you into this family?
I have nowhere to go!
So what? I don't care where you end up going, but you better pay the full settlement fee to Paige.
After you finish paying that settlement fee, you better pay back all of the money that you borrowed from us. No way!
And just like that, Jonathan was disowned by his family and he was kicked out of the house. Of course we got a divorce. Jonathan ended up riddled in debt to pay the settlement fees. Now he's living in a broken-down apartment alone and working multiple part-time jobs from day until night. After he finishes paying the settlement fee to me, he has to pay back all the money he brought from his family. And well, he is to spend the rest of his life paying back his debts. As for me, I decided to rent an apartment and live there with the settlement fee I received. I started working, and I'm enjoying my single life. That reminds me, Kevin and Karen and my former in-laws, to this day, we get along well, and sometimes we have tea or dinner together. I mean, really, without knowing it, I had caused them so much trouble, and they were taking such care of me. But Kevin and Karen and my former in-laws were still friendly with me after everything. Today, I'm going over to the house where Kevin and his wife and their parents live for the first time in a while. Paige, I made some pudding. Would you like to have some? Yes, I'll be right there. Nothing good comes out of fooling people, because in the end, the lie is going to be discovered anyway.
Hi, I'm Paige, 30 years old, and I work at a subcontractor company that makes car parts. Lately, something really happy happened in my life. My older brother Paul got married. Of course, I attended the wedding, and let me tell you, it was incredibly extravagant. I mean, seriously, it felt like something out of a movie. A few days later, Paul called me and said, "Thanks for coming, even though I know you're busy." And I couldn't help but blurt out, "That wedding was amazing." I was honestly blown away, and the food at the reception, that was like luxury restaurant level.
Oh yeah, my father-in-law's friend is a world-renowned chef. He handled the entire wedding menu.
What? No wonder it tasted so good. And get this, my new sister-in-law's family, they live in a literal mansion. During the wedding, I ended up chatting a lot with Paul's new father-in-law.
Hey, you and my father-in-law really hit it off at the wedding, huh?
Yeah, we were talking about work, actually.
That makes sense. You both work in the auto industry. I thought you two would get along. He told me you even exchanged contact info.
We did. We kind of lost track of time chatting.
He told me he really liked you, said you were polite, funny, and super energetic. He was like, "She's a great little sister-in-law."
So yeah, I was genuinely so happy that Paul had such a beautiful wedding, and honestly, I felt proud to be a part of it. But then, not long after that, something way less pleasant happened. I ran into someone I really didn't want to see. Ben. Ugh. Ben was a classmate of mine back in middle school. His dad was the CEO of some company, and Ben was your classic rich kid who never let anyone forget it. Always trying to one-up people with how much money his family had. I mean, our class was full of pretty decent, level-headed kids, so no one really bullied him or anything. But let's just say, no one liked him. I remember one time Ben came up to me and said,
"Hey, Paige, what's up with that cheap pencil case? Look at mine. It's a designer's pen case. My dad bought it for me. I bet it's the most expensive one in the whole school. Pretty cool, huh? You're jealous, right? Come on, admit it."
"Oh, that's nice. I need to go use the bathroom. Bye," and just exited the conversation as fast as possible. Yeah, I tried to stay as far away from him as I could. So one day, our school held elections for student council. I was actually encouraged by my teachers and classmates to run for student body president, so I did. But of course, guess who else decided to run? Yep, Ben. He loved being the center of attention, so I guess it was only a matter of time. During the campaign period, Ben kept coming up to me with this smug look on his face, saying things like,
"There's no way someone like you is getting elected. The student council president is the leader of the students, the top. And you know what people at the top need? Money and power, which you don't have."
Yeah, don't ask me what that even means. He clearly thought he had the whole election in the bag. But then, the results came in, and guess what? I won. I was elected student body president. From that moment on, Ben became completely obsessed with hating me. He'd follow me around, muttering stuff like, "You piss me off, stupid girl. Look at that sad little face of yours." Over and over, just constant petty insults. It was honestly pathetic and exhausting. Thankfully, the other students and teachers were all on my side. They called Ben out for his behavior every time, but still, having him constantly breathing down my neck made my school life really stressful. Years passed, though, and eventually I started working at the company I'm at now, making parts for cars. A few months into the job, something surprising happened. Our company landed a major contract with none other than Panic Collection Motors, Ben's father's company. Actually, Panic Collection is a big-name auto company, so this was huge for us, and apparently, Ben also worked there. But at that time, I was still a newbie, so I wasn't involved in the deal at all. It was a high-stakes contract that could really impact our business, so only the senior staff handled it. Still, I couldn't help but feel a weird sense of fate creeping in. Over the past few years, I'd gradually earned the trust of my coworkers, my team, and even my managers. One day, my boss called me in and said, "Paige, we'd like you to take over the Panic Collection Motors account from here on out." Now, I knew Ben worked for that company, but turning down a job just because of a personal grudge, that's not my style. I don't believe in mixing personal feelings with work. So I looked my boss in the eye and said, "Got it. I'd be happy to handle it." Besides, it's been years since middle school. I figured Ben probably matured a little by now, right? It was all wrong. One day I had some business over at Panic Collection Motors, and I was waiting for the elevator in the lobby. Just then, a male employee walked up beside me, scrolling through his phone. He clearly wasn't paying attention, just standing there silently next to me, waiting for the same elevator. Out of habit, I glanced over at his face and instantly froze. No way. That face. It's him. It's Ben. Before I could decide whether to pretend I didn't see him, he looked up, and of course, he recognized me too.
Hey, wait a sec. Aren't you Paige?
Ugh, great. He noticed. Then, with that same smug tone he always had, he said,
Wow, you still have that same punchable face, huh?
"Excuse me?"
And you're working for one of our suppliers, right? I heard your name from a coworker who's handling your company's account. I cracked up, man. You ended up in some tiny little company after all. Suits you though, plain, poor, and average as ever. Perfect fit for you.
Unbelievable. He hadn't changed one bit since middle school. Yeah, that kind of petty name-calling, Ben had been doing that ever since I got elected student council president. At this point, it was almost, nostalgic in a way. I mean, seriously, what is so bad about working at a subcontractor company? I actually like my job. Jeez. Anyway, I decided to ignore him. He's not worth it, so I just stood there silent, pretending I couldn't hear a thing.
Yo, I'm talking to you. You deaf or something? Say something.
Just then the elevator finally arrived. I stepped forward to get in, but Ben suddenly threw both arms out and blocked the doors.
You don't get to use the elevator, you damn contractor. Take the stairs like you belong.
What? I was stunned. This guy is a grown man, an adult, and this is how he acts? Unbelievable. What the hell are you doing? But right at that moment, the elevator doors closed and I missed it. I was furious, absolutely livid. That jerk! When I got back to my office, I told my boss everything, and to their credit, my boss didn't brush it off. They immediately reported the incident to the president of the Panic Collection Motors, aka Ben's father. Later, I got a phone call from Ben's dad. He apologized for what happened. But then a little while later, something even more unsettling happened. One day during lunch at work, a coworker leaned over and said, "Hey, did you hear? The president of Panic Collection Motors collapsed. He's seriously ill, and apparently his son Ben is going to take over as CEO." Wait, what? Ben? As in that Ben? He's going to be the next president? Is that safe? Sure enough, just a few days after Ben officially became the second-generation CEO of the company, a major incident happened. It was a regular weekday morning. I was in the conference room with a few of our company executives and our president discussing some really important matters. Then, out of nowhere...
Yoo-hoo! I'm coming in, all right?
The door burst open and Ben walked in without knocking, with one of my junior coworkers trailing behind him saying, "Excuse me, sir, this is an important meeting. You can't just barge in like, why are you here all of a sudden?"
Relax, I was in the area and figured I'd swing by and deliver a very important message to you personally. From me, your wonderful new CEO. Here's the deal. From now on, I want all the parts you send our company to be sold at half price. Sound good? Great!
I'm sorry, what did you just say? Every single person in that room except Ben reacted just like I did. Eyes wide, jaws practically on the table. Half price? Do you realize that would completely destroy our company? We'd go under.
Yeah, well, your company basically depends on our contract to survive, right? You owe everything to us.
And unfortunately, he wasn't totally wrong. Over the past few years, we've been doing a lot of business with Panic Collection Motors. In fact, the majority of our revenue was now coming from them. It had become a major part of our operations. He knew that. He was just using it to leverage us and to squeeze us. He was stepping all over us because he could. Unbelievable. What a power trip.
You don't really think you can say no to me, do ya? We're doing you a favor by using a tiny little company like yours in the first place. Honestly, your parts aren't even worth a dime, but I'm generously offering to keep buying them at half price. And you should be grateful for that. Especially her! That smug little face. I can't stand it!
Then he pointed right at me and added with a laugh,
There are plenty of other contractors out there who'd kill for a deal like this. Got it? Half price. Do as I say, or I'll cancel everything.
This guy is out of his mind. What kind of unhinged CEO acts like this? Seriously, who thought it was a good idea to let him run a company? But here's the thing. What Ben didn't know was what kind of meeting we'd been having before he barged in. And let's just say, things were about to turn around. Ben had no idea that he was seconds away from watching his whole arrogant little empire start to crumble. Yep, from that moment on, Ben's life, it went straight downhill, and fast.
Hey, what the hell's with the awkward silence, huh? What, are y'all frozen or something? Shouldn't you be groveling right about now? Saying thank you for giving us a chance to work for you at half price, sir? While rubbing your hands together like the pathetic little subcontractors you are?
Perfect. So we have your confirmation to cancel the contract then? Thank you so much. As soon as I said that, everyone in the room except Ben breathed a huge sigh of relief and said things like, "Phew, thank God for that," with small relieved laughs.
Huh?
Actually, that's exactly what this meeting was about. We were just discussing whether or not to continue working with Panic Collection Motors. So with your generous suggestion, we'll go ahead and cancel all current orders immediately, just as you requested.
Wait, hold on, you can't just... If you cancel, your company's gonna go under. You need our orders.
We're fine with that. Honestly, thank you.
You've gotta be kidding me. You're just bluffing. You think you can survive without us? Fine. Good luck keeping your company afloat. Not that it'll last long anyway.
Ben stormed out of the conference room, smug and satisfied and completely unaware of what was really going on. Fast forward to a few months later. I was at my desk, working like usual, when the phone rang. Everyone else was out for lunch, so I answered. Hello?
That voice. Paige, is that you? It's Ben. Ben from Panic Collection Motors.
Oh wow, long time no speak.
Your company. You must be struggling without our contract, right? Look, maybe we can give you another shot. We might be willing to sign with you again.
Ah, there it is. I could practically hear the desperation in his voice. Well, someone's panicking, huh? The truth is, I had already heard from a famous coworker at Panic Collection Motors, someone I used to work with, that the company was in serious trouble lately. So when Ben called me all flustered, trying to act like he was doing us a favor, I couldn't help it. I let out a little chuckle. Actually, our company's doing better than ever lately.
Ah! Stop lying! That's impossible! You lost our contract! How could your numbers be going up?
Well, we landed a contract with the largest car manufacturer in Japan.
What?
Yep, the CEO of that top Japanese auto company. He's none other than Paul's father-in-law, my sister-in-law's dad. Remember how I said we really hit it off talking about work at the wedding? Well, we kept in touch after that. And after looking into our company's performance and reputation, he reached out to us saying he'd love to work together. Of course, we had to go through all the proper channels first. He had our company's work thoroughly vetted. But once we passed the checks, he gave us the green light. At the time, though, our hands were full with Panic Collection Motors orders, so the very meeting Ben had barged into that day, we were discussing how to end our contract with Panic so we could make room for the new one. So when Ben came storming in, ranting and yelling about canceling our deal, he basically solved the problem for us. We didn't have to lift a finger. He just removed himself. It was perfect.
Wait a minute! How the hell does some low-level subcontractor like you land a deal with Japan's biggest car company? That's gotta be a lie! There's no way! I don't believe it. Wait, no! Forget that. We need to talk. We'll restart the contract, okay? Please, we need to. If we don't, our company's gonna...
Oh, right. I did hear something about that. I heard that right after you canceled with us. Your team scrambled to find a replacement supplier and signed with some overseas company, but their work was horrible. Faulty parts, zero quality control, and now I hear the cars you've been selling, they've been breaking down left and right. Complaints piling in, recalls, lawsuits, damage to your reputation. Sounds like a real mess over there, huh? And I heard that because of your ridiculous demands and childish tantrums, employees have been quitting left and right. Well, I'm not surprised. If I had a boss like you, I wouldn't stick around either.
You think you can say whatever you want to me?
I'm just being honest. Regardless of what you say or how much you beg, we are never doing business with you again. Ever. So if you'll excuse me...
Wait! No, don't hang up! Don't!
Bye-bye now.
Please, I'm begging you, please forgive me!
But it was too late. I hung up the phone right as Ben's voice broke into a desperate, trembling scream. Pretty sure he was crying, and I didn't even feel a little bit bad. After that, it made national news that the cars sold by Panic Collection Motors were causing accidents, one after another. Weekly magazines and online media dug deep into how much CEO Ben was hated by both the employees and subcontractors of the company, and how terrible and dangerous his personality really was. In fact, Ben was forced to recall all the cars, pay compensation to the injured, and issue full refunds to the buyers. To make matters worse, the company's stock price absolutely plummeted, just as expected. Panic Collection Motors went bankrupt in the blink of an eye. Even Ben's father, the former CEO, who was still hospitalized at the time, got heavily criticized on talk shows and online for leaving the company to such an incompetent son. He was furious, reportedly yelling at Ben, "Look what you've done!" Eventually, he cut all ties with him. Drowning in debt and having become too infamous from all the media coverage, Ben couldn't even find another job. In the end, Ben had no choice but to borrow money from shady loan sharks. Eventually, he couldn't keep up with the payments, and through one of their connections, he got shipped off overseas. Now, from what I've heard, he's become a shell of his former self. Scrawny, pale, dark circles under his eyes, wrinkles everywhere. He's aged horribly. Well, with a personality like that, it was only a matter of time before karma caught up with him. Honestly, he had it coming. Meanwhile, as for me, thanks to my sister-in-law's father, work has been going incredibly well. Our company's performance keeps rising, and to top it off, I got promoted. My salary went up too, and honestly, life's never been better. Oh, and just the other day, I got another call from Paul.
Hey, Paige, did Dad get in touch with you? He wants the four of us, me, my wife, Dad, and you, to go out for some fancy Chinese food together.
Yeah, he did. I'm really looking forward to it.
By the way, he's still totally singing your praises. He's super impressed with you and your company, too. He says the work you do is top-notch.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, when a client speaks that highly of you, it just makes you want to do even better, you know? I'm more motivated than ever. Time to keep giving it my all.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next?